Beis, Zohar, Beraishis, Yudches Beis, Perush, Tedshא. So it says in Zohar Beraishis, what's Tedshã? And Bechinas Yutz and Mishrasim. These grasses refer to the angels that He's created every day. Shin Chadashim Libekarim, they're new every morning. Be'rabos be'echa al pasuk Chadashim Libekarim. That's what it says, new every day, or the angels that are new every day. This is the concept that He grows grasses for the animal. These grasses are the angels. Ein Zohar Pinchas, Daf Reshut Zayin, Amud Beis, V'ain Betorah or Parshas Pinchas B'dibur Maskil Kodesh Yisrael Mashi Birad Mor Nishmas V'edin Tadshא Aretz. Look what the Alter Rebbe says in the Maamer Kodesh Yisrael about that the earth should grow grasses. About this idea of creating angels that serve Him, which is the concept of the beginning of His produce, the produce of the lower hay of Hashem's name, meaning to say that they come from Malchus. And if so, midvarav nira, from His words, we see that this comes from the flow that comes from the external union of Abba and Ima, which is constant. To enliven from nothing to something, that from the Yichud Chitzoni of Ava, it comes into the lower hay, that the earth should grow the grasses. That's where the angels come from, the Yichud Chitzoni of Ava. It's a concept of the Mochin, but it's not from the Pnimius, it's from the Chitzonius. So there's zivug neshikin, which is the concept of Yichud Ava, as opposed to zivug gufni of Zun for the Neshamos. And Ikraim Yotzim Misharsim, that these angels are called, that He forms them. Therefore, they're new every day, every morning. This is the concept of that He renews with His goodness every day, continuously. And in the Maamer about the Omer, where it talks about the Michael for the Behema, which is the concept of the idea of bidrurim, of the malachim and the animals, that which fell down from in Shviras HaKelim, B'klipas Noga, and is elevated. That's every day we do the mitzvahs, we elevate from the Shviras HaKelim. Vayin Bigeras HaKodesh Simin Chaf Sof Dibur HaMaskil Iu V'chayoy V'zel Hashanot. Look what it says in Iu V'chayoy, and this is what it says, and through this there is the strength and the ability in the end of the vessel, the Malchus Tasiyah, of Malchus Avasiyah should be so to offer, and in the fundamental element of the earth, of V'hu Maimer Tadshא Aretz V'chulu, and that's the statement, let the earth grow grasses. There he brings the difference between grasses that grow on their own and grasses that come through the mitzvahs. Then the meaning to say that the koach of creation yesh ma'ayin shows itself in the earth. Liyos po'al chulu, and this koach of Ein Sof has the effect of Tadshא to grow grasses and trees. But there's those that are through efforts, from below, and things that are sown, seeds that are sown and planted. Nonetheless, they're still considered like something from nothing, even though they're sown and planted. Because that's what the earth does. It turns the seed, which is like nothing, into grass, into a tree. Now these fruits, the produce that comes through the arousal from below, which is the planting and the sowing and the planting, they're much greater than those that come up on their own, from the ability of growth of the earth alone. And from this we can understand drawing down the supernal lights into the lower worlds of Bria. So that's the concept of the growing of the grasses from the Hey Tata, from the Malchus. And so what are the ones that come up on their own? That's Zehuin in Yichud Chitzoni Dava. That's what we're talking about here. Those that come from the external union of Abba and Ima, Lahachiyas Olamus, to enliven the world. The world keeps on going, whether or not you do anything. That's the Yichud Chitzoni. Those are the grasses that grow, that come up on their own. And those that come up through sowing and planting is the inner union of Abba and Ima. It's a higher level. So there it explains that Tadsheh is the fire of knowledge. It talks about the rain upon the grasses. It's a concept of the coming down of Torah, and Torah is also a concept of fire. I'm not exactly how that ties into the creation of the Malachim over here. Gimel Zohar Chilik Beis Sof Parshas Truma B'Sifra Ditznius Perek Beis Beis Daf Kufayin Zayin Amud Aleph Bezimna Demati Tishrei. Says in Zohar Truma in the Sifra Ditzniusa, when the time comes for Tishrei Yarcha Shviah, the 7th month, Mishtakhi Lein Tleisar Ba'al these 13 are found in the supernal world, Mispatchan Tleisar Tra Derachmi, and it has opened the 13 gates of mercy. It says, search for Hashem when he is found. Vayomer Elokim Tadsheh Haaretz Desha, and Elokim says, let the earth grow grasses, Esiv Mazriya Zera, the grasses that have seeds, Eitz Pri V'Gomer, and fruit trees. Vainu Dichsiv, and that is that it's written, V'nisem es nafsho seichem, that you should afflict your souls, B'tisha l'chodesh ba'erev, in the 9th of the month in the evening. Bahai Zimna, and this time, Adnai Havaya Atachilo Savagomer, Hashem Havaya, you have started to show me. So it's sort of hard to understand the exact flow in this Zohar, in the shtickle. And then he says, so what's exactly going on here? I found the Pirush for this in Sefer Hadras Pnei Melech in the Zohar. B'sofa Mishum Sheniska Yud Beis Pamim Elokim B'Parshas Beraishis, and it means that since it mentions Elokim 12 times in Beraishis, Kodem Pasuk V'Yomer Elokim Tadshei, before the pasuk that Elokim says grow grasses, so that this Elokim is the 13th time, the 13th Elokim. Therefore, the growing of the grasses represents the revelation of the 13 attributes of mercy. Gam pasuk zeh ad ose prilimino yesh yud gimel tevos ad kan dvarav. And also, this verse, until that he makes fruits, that each fruit tree should make the fruits to its type, there's 13 letters, and that's the end of the quote from the Hadras Pnei Melech. U'b'sefer Or Yisrael, Hey Yom Kippurim, or Hilchos Yom Kippurim. So in Or Yisrael, Perush ki v'nisem es nafsho seichem b'tisha, that where it says that you should afflict your souls on the 9th, Zeu Maimar Azal, this is what our sages said, Kol ha'uchel v'shos b'tishichu, that anybody who eats and drinks on the 9th, it's as if they fasted for the 9th and 10th. So that's why it says that you should afflict yourself on the 9th, including the 9th of Tishrei. And the intention of eating and drinking, that you should eat and be sated and blessed. To draw down the blessing and the attribute of Malchus, Eretz Elyona, the supernal land, meaning to say you bring it down into Malchus as well. And that's like, if you're bringing it down into Malchus, if you're bringing it into the attribute of Malchus, that's like the growing the grasses, or bringing it the flow into the grasses of the earth. That the earth brings forth produce from that which it receives from the heavens. So it's like you're, so to speak, the heavens raining down upon the earth. Shehu Zachul, which is Iranpi, which corresponds with the heavens. That's the bracha of eating. It's interesting. It comes from the earth, and you eat it, and then you bless, and you bring a blessing to the produce from the earth in your blessing. It seems cyclical. Look what it says in the Maamer about that you remembered the earth and you desired it. Look over there. That's the union of Vav and K. The flow from Zot to Malchus. Then you have the higher union. So I guess again that would be the Yichud Chitzoni, or at least the lower union. And then you have the Yichud of Yud Kei Zeu Inyan Yom Kippurim. That's the concept of Yom Kippur. Ki Yud Nivra Ha'ol Maba, because the world to come is created with Yud, Shu Kei, Shemisham, Hey Nuim Chulu. That's the Hey of Hashem's name, which is 5, which corresponds with the 5 afflictions of Yom Kippur. So the world to come itself is like the letter Hey. It's created with the Yud, and that's why the world to come has 5 afflictions, 5 ways to strip yourself of physicality, corresponding with the spiritual state of the world to come. Ve'ef Shalom, we can say, we can try and explain this. Help you, Mashkas of Yarov Matar Likhi. Tizal katal imrasi, kesirim ali deshe, chrivivim ali esev, as in the verse that my lekach, my Torah comes down like matar, like rain. It drips down, my words drip down like dew, like rains upon the grasses, and rains upon and the revivim ali. He says it in another way. And again, so like rains upon the greens and rains upon the grasses. So it's found then. the two first parts of the psukim are talking about rain and dew. Then you have two kinds of rain, se'irim and revivim. And they come on two kinds of grasses, Desha and Esav. And the matar and tal, midus harachmim, corresponds with the 13 attributes of mercy, just like it says, that just like the snow and the rain and the snow comes down from the heavens, so to my words come down, so to speak. So it's talking about the 13 attributes of mercy. We read this Haftorah on the fast days when it's an Eser Ratzon. So I guess that's why it corresponds with the 13 attributes of mercy when Hashem says, I'm going to bring it down like rain. And the Alter Rebbe explains that Desha and Esav, these grasses, in Mishnah of Talmud, refers to Mishnah and Talmud of the Torah. Therefore, by afflicting ourselves on the 9th, which is Yom Kippur, we bring down the rains, which are not just the 13 attributes of mercy, but also to come down into Torah. The gifted rains and dew, that the earth should grow. I guess that might correspond with the giving of the second luchos of Yom Kippur. There's some kind of also concept of Torah that sprouts through the forgiveness that we get on Yom Kippur. And that's like the grass is growing. We can further say on the verse that you're like a apple in amongst the trees of the forest. So too is my beloved amongst them. Tikun ve'emes. So that's actually referring to in the 13 attributes, the 13 tikkunei dikna, the different parts of the beard, the tikun ve'emes nikra tapuach. It's called the apples of the cheek that don't have hair. It's higher scholars because there's no tzimtzumim. The Yud Beis Tikkunim nikra Atzi Hayar, and the other 13 Tikkunim are called the trees of the forest. Because they're a concept of hairs, as opposed to the tapuach. That's the concept of growing the grasses. It's like the concept of hairs. All the other Tikkunim Dikna are like grasses that grow. So that's why the grasses are compared to the 13 attributes of mercy as well, just like the hairs of the beard. So too, just like it says that I gave grass to your animals in the field, Esav Av Shin. The word Esav of grass is made up of 72, the Av, Shem Av, and a Shin. Michael and Nefesh Bahamis, and that's the spiritual food for the animal soul. But this happens on Yom Kippur. So it's, so to speak, as if your animal soul is eating by not eating. It's through our affliction that we get a spiritual sustenance through this, as like the known explanation of the Alter Rebbe on that through the Ra'av itself, through the fasting itself, we get life. I enliven you. I am B'Rabbos V'Shirashirim Kavzayin Bez. So pasuk nufes titofna binyan b'nos tersheh chulu be'esev ha'be'er chulu kreach levanon v'em ha'aros arichan pin. Look in Medrash B'Shir Hashirim about that her lips are dripping with myrrh, or the sif zara, the stranger, her lips drip, and it brings there about Binos Teshi Arbitzeni, that you have sat me down in beautiful grasses, and the grasses of the well of spring waters, and that it's like the smell of Lebanon. All of these concepts that he mentions in that Maamar, or excuse me, in Medrash Rabbah, and Kabbalistically, those are the lights of Arichanpin, all these different concepts. So that also corresponds with the grasses, referring to the idea of the Yud Gimel Midos Rachamim, Binos Tedshah, Habe'er, and Reach Lebanon.